Talking the Ukraine counteroffensive, these clips are not suitable for some audiences, so turn away now if you don't want to see war footage. They're violent, and war is hell. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to upload these here on YouTube, so stay tuned because I want your feedback, and we need to have a serious light bulb moment here. It's past time. The entire video, I'm going to play clips from the front that I've compiled. Understand the Ukrainian side is being rather quiet, and I don't have access to a lot of their footage compared to the Russian side. But it's important to see where the current era of warfare is at, and it's no longer guys in sandals or farmers. Now, good afternoon. Now, over to our carefully selected stories that I've chosen to manipulate your emotions and think... Wait, that's the mainstream media. Welcome to The Real Report. My name's Patrick. Figured I'd get that out sooner than later, that I'd drop it so we can be on a first-name basis. Now, today I want to talk about fighting a peer-to-peer enemy, especially one like Russia with 5 lines of defense, would require a comprehensive and coordinated approach. I want to talk about what, at least from my perspective as an armchair warlord, views the conflict currently. So please, anybody who's served in the military, please, I implore you to comment your thoughts or opinions or give me constructive feedback, criticize my analysis in the comment section down below. But let's get through this. Now, it's been proven that the Ukrainians have lost about 30% of their equipment so far. They've lost a lot of their Leopard 2 tanks. They've lost about 20% of their Bradleys as well. Now, the problem here is not... We can, of course, send them more, but the issue is the troops that are, unfortunately, casualties within these vehicles that are being destroyed are completely irreplaceable. It takes time, money, resources to train new troops, and it takes time to ship more vehicles overseas. But I want to talk about why the offensive has been racking up severe casualties, roughly 5-1 on the Ukrainian side. And I want to talk about it from the perspective of how would the United States military handle this situation differently. So I've compiled some information, and again, please let me know in the comments down below any criticism or feedback. I'd appreciate it. So anytime the United States goes into a new conflict, there's usually a standard operating procedure, battle doctrine that they follow. And from what I've gathered, it starts with, and I'm just going to go through the entire thing, and then you can piece together why the Ukrainians are not able to achieve the same successes. Now, the first thing is usually intelligence and reconnaissance. The military would gather intelligence through various means, including aerial and satellite reconnaissance, human intelligence, cyber intelligence, to gain a detailed understanding of the enemy's defenses. This information would help identify potential vulnerabilities and weaknesses within defensive lines. Next, preparatory fires and suppression. The U.S. military would employ a variety of firepower assets to weaken and suppress the enemy's defenses. This could involve airstrikes, artillery barrages, missile strikes, cyber operations targeted at key enemy positions, assets, infrastructure, aiming to disrupt their command and control communication networks and defensive capabilities. Electronic warfare and cyber operations. The military would utilize electronic warfare and cyber operations to degrade the enemy's sensors, communications, and information systems. This could include jamming enemy radars, disrupting their networks, and launching cyber attacks to disrupt their command structure and create confusion. Next up would be maneuver and flanking. Ground forces would be employed to maneuver around the defensive lines and attack from unexpected directions, which of course is difficult when there's 5 lines of defense, but it might involve using armored units, infantry, specialized forces to flank the enemy's defenses and exploit identified weaknesses previously. Goal would be to disrupt their lines and isolate their positions, create opportunities for further advancement. Now, here's arguably, in my current perspective paradigm, the most critical thing missing from the Ukrainian side right now and holding them back: combined arms assault. Now, if it was the U.S. military, they'd utilize combined arms operations, integrating various assets, infantry, armor, artillery, aviation, and support units, and the integrated approach would allow for the coordinated and synchronized, keyword there, use of firepower, mobility, and maneuver to breach the enemy's defenses. Close air support and precision-guided munitions could be employed to neutralize specific defensive positions or obstacles. Now, I don't want to miss anything, so you're probably asking, well, there's a lot more to combined operations and combined arms assaults. Well, of course, you're right. Some of the key aspects of combined arms operations is task organization, mutual support, synergy of capabilities, tactical flexibility, integrated firepower, combined arms maneuvers, and battlefield command and control. Effective communication and command structures are crucial in combined arms operations, and commanders must have a comprehensive understanding of the capabilities and limitations of each element and be able to coordinate their actions to achieve the desired outcome. And the problem is, 1, being disorganized, 2, not having air assets, 3, not having the right air defense or enough man pads for this assault. They don't have enough covering fire, barrages, missiles, equipment, you name it. So that's really the limitations in this counteroffensive. You might be thinking it's been a meat grinder. Well, the purpose of combined arms operations is to maximize the strengths of each component while compensating for their weaknesses, not just throwing more men at the same fixed position. And by integrating different combat arms and coordinating their actions, combined arms operations seek to achieve synergy and enhance the overall effectiveness and combat power of the military force. This approach increases the versatility, flexibility, and responsiveness of the force in executing a wide range of missions and achieving operational objectives. Now you're probably wondering what's next. Well, breaching and clearing. Specialized units such as combat engineers would be tasked with breaching the enemy's obstacles such as minefields or anti-tank ditches, which we've seen a lot of their mine-clearing vehicles blown up within the same 100-yard span without clearing anything. That would create passages for friendly forces. Infantry units would follow to clear enemy positions and engaging in close-quarter combat. And of course, if it was in a city, then you'd go room to room and neutralize any remaining threats. Also, you've got support by fire during maneuvers. Supporting elements such as machine gun teams, sniper teams, mortar units, artillery may provide covering fire to suppress enemy positions and create safe corridors for friendly forces. And if you successfully break through, lastly, exploitation and consolidation. Once the enemy's defensive lines have been breached, the military would exploit the opportunity by rapidly advancing, seizing key objectives, and preventing the enemy from regrouping. This phase involves securing captured territory, establishing defensive positions, and consolidating gains for further operations. It's important to note, though, that specific tactics and strategies employed would also depend on the specific characteristics of the enemy's defenses, terrain, available resources, and the overall mission objectives. Flexibility, adaptability, and the ability to rapidly adjust tactics are critical in these operations because they are obviously dynamic, not static. And also you can see in the clips I'm showing you now with the simple use of the first-person drones that they're using here and flying. I'll show you the operator's perspective in just a second, but picture taking anybody older than 12 and they could absolutely wreak havoc with a pair of VR goggles. Now this is where the future of warfare is headed to, and we're obviously going to have to adapt, unfortunately, based off the losses of the Ukrainians, because I think NATO is having a big wake-up call moment here as well. I'm going to leave you guys with this clip. This about sums it up. Watch this. Now, I'm not sure which side this gentleman is on, but regardless, obviously he's a younger gentleman piloting some of these drones. So again, leave a like, comment down below any feedback, constructive criticism, I'd really appreciate it, and hit the subscribe button if you learned anything new.